And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
Yes, sir. It's Monday morning, January 19th. It is 8:30 a.m., kids, on this glorious MLK Day. For those of you listening international, it's Martin Luther King Day here, so the kids have school off. Most people don't have work. We do. I guess this is work. I guess we'll call this work. But kiddos have it off. Tiger has a big old football tournament today. So I got to get out of here by noon because his games start at 1. But we'll fit it in. I got this, firing the kid, and I'm out of here. And that's what we're doing on MLK Day, baby. That's what we're doing. But forget all that noise. Forget all that noise because UFC's back. UFC's back. All right. On Paramount. I'm just feeling this way because they've had such a long break. I definitely miss it. Maybe as we get closer, it's going to build up. I just don't feel like there's much hype yet. For the hardcores, he's been counting down the days. For the guys that follow the sport, we're counting down the days. We know Saturday it's going down. We're going to tune in from the prelims to the main event. That's what we do. But outside that, man, I just don't feel like there's much hype. I was thinking about this morning. I think one of the downsides to them signing with Paramount, obviously money was the number one goal here. And they accomplished that. But I think one of the downsides is where are you going to get for the casuals, for the general people, my parents, the people at Starbucks, the people at Summer Moon Coffee, the people at these random spots at the gym, the people that aren't on social media a ton, that aren't going to, listening to podcasts, MMA podcasts, stuff like that. How are they finding out about the fight? I guess if you watch Landman.
Oh, they played on that?
They'll be like, when you go to click on the Paramount app, there'll be like, UFC this Saturday. They had a few commercials on the CBS football game. But that's one of the disadvantages of leaving ESPN, where it'd be on the tracker at the bottom, or they'd at least reference it. Maybe this is a boomer take, because I don't know what ESPN ratings are like these days. It's a bit of a bummer. What about the pre and post shows, stuff like, that build up? I wonder where they're going to do that. I'm sure they'll figure it out. Yeah, it's the first time I was like, this isn't good. Where are we going to... But again, times are changing, Like the UFC, when they made the deal, was like, nobody gives a shit about mainstream TV. Like it's all about the streaming and stuff like that. But then I would argue, and obviously Dana did a lot of press last week. I'm sure he's doing more this week. If you saw him, he showed up on a bunch of outlets, a bunch of podcasts and stuff like that. Did you see that, Chino?
Yeah.
It's not getting a lot of traction. It hasn't been getting much traction. I don't know. I don't know. It just lost its pizzazz. I don't know what's going on there. Not for me. But yeah, if you remember when the UFC signed with Fox, it was such a big deal. Do you remember that first fight on Fox? You remember how big of a deal that was? Granted, different time. They were still, trying to get mainstream and become a force in the major sports. But you remember that first fight on Fox? Kane, JDS, it was like, when we were on Fox, it's like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Then they went on ESPN. This is a big deal. It's on the tracker. They're breaking it down on First Take. It's on, Sports Center. It's on the ticker at the bottom. This is a big deal, man. And with Paramount, I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, maybe I'm being crazy. Maybe it's going to pick up as we get closer.
I did do a quick Google. They were going to have pre and post shows, but I didn't hear about it.
On what?
On CBS Paramount?
Like on actual Channel 4?
Channel 2, I think CBS is. But
I'm just saying whatever CBS is, they're going to have it on like the main channel. That's pretty cool. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah. Says as they're crucial for fan engagement.
Because I know their pre-shows gets good. I mean, I watch all of it. And I know their pre-shows get good ratings. Yeah, it's still a lot to be said. I'm not hating, not trying to rain on the parade. You guys tell me. It just feels a little underwhelming right now. Again, it's Monday, okay, and it's a holiday. So maybe it's that. But even Dana White's press tour, all right. And even he wasn't like the most dude, if you just got privy to the UFC during the pandemic, and that's when you became a fan, which a ton of people did, oh, you missed the come up. Oh, my Lord. When Dana, when he would promote these fights, it reminds me of, now they're completely different. This is a bit of a stretch. Feel me out here. Follow me on this. Do you remember when Howard Stern first, God, I'm dating myself here. Do you remember when Howard Stern first burst on the scene? And he was a savage. He wanted to come into certain markets, and he wanted to be the number one DJ, host, radio host, and he would just absolutely go hard in the paint. It was like this Kobe mentality. It was like this Tom Brady, like I'll do whatever it takes, and they would just take over. And he would just start these riffs with other people and all this stuff. That's what Dana White was back in the day, dude. And boy, nobody could promote or sell a fight better than Dana White. Still to this day, they don't. Clearly, there's nobody even, it's not even a comparable market. They own the market for this reason, all the work he did back in the day. Oh my God, you guys missed out. And I think I saw that when Dana announced Izzy
Pyfer.
in the Joe Pyfer fight. And he's just like, he's in cruise control. He's cruising at 10,000 altitude, and it's all good, and there's no turbulence, and there's no competition, and there's going to be a safe landing, and there's no threats. He made it. He's at the top of the mountain. You guys that missed that time period when he was foaming at the dick and would run over any other promoter, any other organization. He would say some foul shit, and you were just like, let's go, dude. And they just fucking took over everything. And the promotion, oh my God. If you go back and watch, like, when they had to build a fight, dude, oh my God. It was so good. Now, and the landscape has changed. UFC is not the only business doing this. Now Dana, he gets on his iPhone and he's like reading from a piece of paper, and he's like, Israel Adesanya, 21-6, fighting Joe Pyfer. That guy's a beast, and it's a fight night. Look forward to that one. And you're like, oh man. But again, maybe. And a lot of the reason Dana did it is they don't want other news outlets getting the news first and releasing it, so that he goes first. A, it builds his platform. B, it's coming straight from the horse's mouth. C, nobody else can take advantage of it or leak fights early or anything like that. That's why they do it. That's why they do it, because he has this riff with the MMA media. But that's kind of an old school thing. That's his issue, right? With the media, the MMA media. It's also kind of an old school thing. Like, why not release that news on the UFC Paramount, and have Paramount, fucking CBS Paramount. They can't put together a video package of Izzy and Joe Pyfer highlights, and announce it that way. I just feel like they're phoning it in. But then again, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one here.
No.
Maybe people don't give a shit. But it's also like in today's day and age with AI, and you can get a content guy fucking up the street. I can throw a rock and find a video content guy who can edit and put together sizzle, and most people can do it on their own with their phone. So it's there's so much of it. So now I think what makes things different and trend. Hit me, baby, one more time. I think what makes things better and gets more engagement and that people kind of respond to better is being more authentic. And I think so. Maybe coming from the horse's mouth, Dana doing it from his cell phone. Maybe that's their thinking. I need more energy, big dog. I need more passion. Can you do that? But again, Dana's like, excuse me, bitch. What? No, we just did a deal for $7 billion. What's the note you have for us, dumbass? Fair point. I'm just saying it. I'm not criticizing what you guys do. I'm just saying as a fan, I would like a little more effort, especially how many does Izzy have left? Come on, man. You kind of owe it to the guy. Create something dope. Trying to build up Joe Pyfer? Come on, man. That didn't do it. That sure as fuck didn't do it. That didn't get anybody excited. But again, they're the number one promotion. Let's be honest, they're the only promotion. It's a monopoly. It is. Just like the NFL. And I can argue with you why it's not a bad thing, but that's nor here nor there. But like the NFL, like the NBA, like the NHL, MLB, there's only one pony in town, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm being a boomer. Maybe I'm being a fucking boomer.
No, I remember
you're old as fuck too, but
yeah, I remember when it first started. When you're talking about like his energy for promoting is not there anymore. Do you remember back in the days? I know you must remember this, where he would be like on his Twitter, "Hey guys, I'm gonna be at this place at this time, 2 p.m. I got tickets, whatever." It would flood that the venue. People were like screaming and stuff. He would do it all the time. He was super into it.
I know.
But I mean, yeah, once you accomplish this much, like, you know what?
Literally, he's in cruise control. He's at 10,000 altitude, and there's no turbulence. And there's. So I kind of get it, but then I think he was talking with our boy Robbie Fox, and maybe it was Robbie, maybe someone else. I saw some of the clips from his PR tour, and they're like, yeah, with Volkanovski's fight. A lot of people were kind of upset about the matchup again with Diego Lopez, and he was like, yeah, we sat around and we thought it was a fight to make. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Now, some of you are like, oh, what the fuck, man? But if you know Dana, he's done that. He said that before, but it was with more like, this fight's awesome. This is why we made it. We were going to go in this direction, but we decided to go in this direction. This could be an awesome fucking fight. Diego Lopez is a monster. He learned from his mistakes. I guarantee you don't want to miss this. And if you don't like it, don't watch it. That's different than, yeah, man, that's what we decided to do. If you don't like it, don't watch it. You're like, fuck, dude, at least give me a little piss and vinegar in it. But again, he's worth $1 jagillion, and I'm buying car parts off Facebook Marketplace. So shut up. Shut up.
I hear you, but we want that old feeling back where he's like super excited about it. It just makes us more excited.
Yeah, or something. Even if it's not him, that's the thing. Even if it's not him, there's other guys in there that could do it.
Like I can't think of anyone. That lawyer guy, Hunter Campbell, doesn't seem like he's going to be super.
Hunter Campbell's not the guy.
Yeah.
Mick Maynard's awesome.
Mick Maynard?
If you know him, yeah, he's great.
Sean Shelby, I don't know anything.
Sean Shelby's not. It's not his thing. He's a brilliant. He's like the fucking mega mind of matchmaking, but he's not the face that's going to promote fights. You could have a guy like Chael do it.
That's like the number one person. It's got to be Chael, but then he's not super integrated into UFC, right? As far as like the brass. I don't know.
Chael, no, he's back. He's back on. He was. I'm sure they're bringing him over to Paramount, but he was big in the ESPN stuff. He came back after all this bullshit, but Chael's great at it. He'd be a good mouthpiece for that stuff. Have Chael announce it. Why not? again, that this is a bit of an ego thing because, right, this is Dana's thing and social media, and they've made such a push in social media with the Nelk boys and doing all that shit and streamers and the girl destroying Lamborghinis. You know, Dana's partnering with her. It's a little weird, but I get it. It's the movement. You know, he's on kick and all that bullshit. You could even have Nina Drama do it. She's young, full of energy, knows the fight game. Like, have her do it, dude. Like, but again, you don't get to his level letting other people do your job. That's the thing. But you think some of the brass, like, hey, man, we know you like fucking announcing the fights, but I know you don't like the MMA media, but you have Nina Drama here. We have other outlets that they might put a little more effort in. Do you think that would be cool for this? Especially the big, like, some of the other cards or what, like he had more energy when he was like, all right, everybody, UFC Apex, big news. He had more energy for that. Now that they're with fucking Meta.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't give a fuck that you guys made more money naming the UFC Apex Meta. He had more passion and emphasis on that than he did Izzy Joe Pyfer. That's why I'm like, God damn it. Maybe I'm a boomer. Maybe the young kids don't give a fuck, but you guys also don't know how good we had it. You don't know how good we had it. It's a bummer. Let's take a little break here, and then we'll get right back in this juicy-ass UFC 324 Paramount breakdown, because this episode of the Schaub Show is brought to you by Fabletics. Listen, my girl wears Fabletics. I was not aware they made fly gear for the men's, and they sent me some of their pieces, their pants. Dude, I haven't stopped rocking them. I work out in their tees, their pants, their hoodies. They're so damn good. Did you guys know Jamar Chase is officially Fabletics' first NFL ambassador? Yep, he just dropped his first collection with them, featuring his favorite essentials, classic effortless tees. Go to the oversized hoodies. They're fantastic. All right. And so when I signed up as a new VIP with Fabletics, you get 80% off everything. 80% off by signing up for the VIP with Fabletics. I thought it was going to be one of those too good to be true things, but nope, this is legit. You get 80% off. The fit, super dialed in. Fits great, looks good. Whatever you're going to do at the gym, barbecue, kids football game, you're going to look fly in Fabletics. We got you, man. So Fabletics, they already have incredible deals. And you can get this exclusive offer for you guys. You get 80% off everything when you sign up as a VIP. And yes, that includes Jamar's first drop. Just head to fabletics.com/Schaub, S-C-H-A-B. Take a quick style quiz. Be sure to select Schaub when prompted to unlock your 80% off. That's fabletics.com/Schaub. Make sure you select Schaub when prompted to unlock 80% off Fabletics. You're welcome. Either way, though, who gives a fuck? This isn't going to be a negative podcast about the UFC, because you have finally a big UFC fight. Was it UFC 327, 326?
Which one? The next big?
This one's 326, right?
This is 24.
This is 324?
324.
So obviously they're not pay-per-views anymore, which is a plus. But again, be careful because that Paramount Plus subscription is going to go up. Guarantee it.
It did already, like, once, what was it, a few days ago? I think last Tuesday it went up to 90 a year. Before it was 60 something a year.
Huh.
Yeah.
Slowly creeping up.
But let me look at the upcoming cards real quick. Fight night, not amazing. This is a good fight night, though. Strickland
Fluffy is amazing. Go up for me.
Up.
Yeah, so back-to-back Saturdays, you got big boys. UFC 324, UFC 325. They're coming out the gates hot. Click on that.
25?
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into it next week, but I haven't seen the whole card on this. Oh, wow. Keep going?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, comparable card. That main card might be better than this Saturday's card. All right, let's get into UFC 324. Earlier start time, too, so that's lit.
Is it 8 p.m. CST?
It usually starts at 9.
So is that 6? Yeah, so that's 6 regular PST, right?
Yep.
6. So then, yeah, regular
Yeah.
start.
So it's starting an hour early, which helps. Let me see the whole card, Chad. I mean, you lost Kayla Harrison, Amanda Nunes. That's a huge loss. Huge loss. But then it bumps up Sugar Sean O'Malley, Song Yadong, Justin Gaethje, Patty Pimblett, Acosta, Derek Lewis. Rose is fighting Arnold Allen Silva. That's a sleeper of a fight. Umar Figgy's on there. I'm not mad at that. It's a solid card, right?
It's not like, oh my God card, but it's a solid card. Yeah.
It's not going to blow me again. It's a solid card. The Justin Gaethje Patty Pimblett fight, it's well documented. I'm a huge Patty Pimblett fan. I've known Justin Gaethje before he even had a fight, wrestled with him at University of Northern Colorado. I've known the guy for a hot second. He's one of my favorite people in the sport. As Anik says, he's your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. We love Justin Gaethje. This fight really comes down to the old veteran, Justin Gaethje, who's battle-tested. I mean, you're talking about the highlight reel, one of the most exciting fighters of all time, if not the most exciting fighter in MMA history. The human highlight rate came over, former world champion at World Series of Fighting. He's done his thing in the UFC. He's fought everybody. He's had insane fights. Even his losses, that loss against Max Holloway, they're insane. He's long in the tooth, though. He's long in the tooth. I think he's 37 or 38. And he also, even though he has his background is wrestling, right? He wrestled at University of Northern Colorado. He finished 7th in nationals, which makes him All-American. If you finish in the top 8, you're All-American. Insanely tough to do. Insanely tough to do. He is so athletic, such a fucking beast. Doesn't use his wrestling. He decides to do other things with it. He's still very hard to take down. So it reminds me a little bit of Chuck Liddell, who had a wrestling background. Even Chuck Liddell's wrestling background wasn't as impressive as Gaethje's, but where the sprawl and brawl, where they're not easy to take down if that's your game plan. In Gaethje's thing, if in that Fiziev fight, he would get taken down, but he's so good in the scrambles. And even when Gaethje was wrestling at University of Northern Colorado, if you would get him down, he was so athletic, he could scramble out of it. That was his thing. Gaethje's his hips are so good. The one thing that you should be aware of as a Justin Gaethje fan is he does have a wrestler's tendency. If you look in the Fiziev fight, when he does get taken down and he does scramble, his first instinct is to fight the hands and get to his knees and stand up. Well, when you do that with a guy of Patty Pimblett's grappling pedigree, you're giving up your back and your neck, which is Patty Pimblett's strongest advantage in this fight. Patty is not going to take Justin Gaethje down. He might get a trip or something, or Gaethje might throw a leg kick and he might get him off balance with a jab and take him down. But as far as straight wrestling, Patty's probably not going to get him down. But what Patty's going to be able to do is find a way to get to his back. That's his number one goal. Now, you see Patty in interviews going, I can strike with Gaethje. I'm going to knock him out. My goal is to knock him out. I'd love to be in a war. And all that's fun for the buildup. That's far from the truth. Now, he's not going to just go straight at him and try to get him down and get to his back. That's just idiotic, especially with a guy like Justin Gaethje. Patty, he's going to come out. He's going to stay long. And the other narrative is that Patty's, and this is why I always tell you guys, you got to be careful with the height and weight and reach and all that shit with the UFC, especially if you're going to Google somebody's height and reach, because they have Justin Gaethje listed as being taller than Patty Pimblett. That is not the truth. Patty's taller, has a longer reach. If you saw Patty versus Chandler, he dwarfed Chandler.
Yeah.
So Patty's going to have an advantage in all that. Justin Gaethje, when he came from World Series of Fighting, he would stop people with leg kicks. Now, nobody's going to tell you, he's not 5'11". Nobody's going to tell you that Justin Gaethje has world-class technique when it comes to boxing and kicking. He's very effective at it. But again, we everyone throws out this term world class. He does have some tendency when he's kicking where he's still very square in his shoulders. He's not rotating, but it's very effective, especially his calf kick. He's fucking dudes up. The issue with that, if that's his game plan with Patty, is Patty will be able to off balance him, and he's going to be on one leg to, again, the chance of him getting Gaethje down is not good. The success rate's not going to be good at all. He doesn't need that. He just needs to get to his back, whether it's on the ground or standing. He needs to create those scrambles, and all he needs is Justin Gaethje to do what he does in his wrestling instincts is he bases out. He goes tabletop and then hands fights. With a grappler, that's a disaster. And Patty knows this. His team knows this. That's all they're looking for. That's all they're looking for. But he needs to be smart and take his time because Justin Gaethje will, bite down his mouthpiece and throw fucking bombs over Baghdad and try to knock his jaw into Liverpool. So he has to be very smart with that and calculate, which, again, on paper, Justin Gaethje has all the experience. The reason why Patty's a 2-1 favorite is every time we see Patty fight, he's gotten better by leaps and bounds. He's still this young prospect. He still has a ways to go. If you look at his resume, it's not going to blow you away. And I love Patty, and I think he's the closest thing we have to Conor McGregor, and he's going to get there. But you look at his resume, his best win, Chandler, like he's not beating like these young cream of the crop prospects. He hasn't had that test really, he really had. I mean, Tony Ferguson was how many losing fight streak?
Yeah.
You beat him unanimous decision. Bobby Green, he's an exciting fighter, but not exactly a world beater. Dangerous dude, but if you play if you come in discipline, you can usually get him out of there. Okay. And then Michael Chandler, tough vet, been at the top, exciting fighter. He's been on, go to Chandler's record, It's not vintage Chandler. And I love Chandler. Chandler's a fucking monster. But he's lost 5 out of 6 fights. Now, he's lost to the creme de la creme, but still, he's lost 5 out of 6 fights. So for Patty, this is another example of him fighting a more mature fighter. Again, they're not in their prime. And the UFC's taking, I don't mind it. I get everyone, you're protect him. Yeah, he's still a young prospect and he still has a lot of growth to do. And Gaethje's a motherfucker. He's a motherfucker to get out there and you got to watch your P's and Q's. But it's the next evolution of the Patty game. Now, because Ilya, has taken a leave of absence, so it comes that this is for an interim belt. But we all know Ilya's the number one guy. And then you got Arm in there as well. So this is a good step, and it's smart by the UFC of him fighting Justin Gaethje. Again, it's a step up from Chandler, but it's not this huge step up. And if you're basing it off of the progression of Patty, he's gotten significantly better every single fight. And so it goes Justin Gaethje, and then it's off to the races. Now there's no protecting him. There's no matchups we can do. Once you fight for an interim belt, you beat a guy like Justin Gaethje, who is long in the tooth. He's not in his prime, but he's fucking dangerous. And he loses to the lead of the lead. You beat him. Now the gloves are off, and now it's for Patty's reign. It's time for Patty to get going. And if you lose that, then there's nothing we can do. Because next in line is probably Armin, which is a much tougher matchup. Armin's in his prime. And then you got Ilya sitting there. It gets dicey. But outside that, they're all so long in the tooth at 55. Oh my God, they're fossils. And you'll see a lot of narratives out there of people like, the UFC wants Patty to win. When it comes to this, I push back on that narrative because if Justin Gaethje wins, he's more well known in the States than Patty. And Patty's young. He can bounce back. But if Justin Gaethje wins, there's a lot of legacy fights you can do. Ringing that old Conor bell. Conor could come back 55 at the White House against Justin Gaethje. There's a lot of fights you can make for Justin Gaethje. So it's a win-win for the UFC. So the whole narrative, it'd be better for the UFC if Patty won. I'm like, not in this case. Justin Gaethje wins. Ilya Gaethje's fantastic. Sarukian Gaethje's fantastic. And then Patty he's not there yet, and he's still young enough where he'll be a star eventually. He'll be the man eventually. So the UFC's in a win-win here. I don't believe that narrative. It just puts the Patty Pimblett show in the fast lane. That's all it does. He'll get there, but we'll see. This is a big step up for him. He really hasn't had that tough test. This is it, even though he's a 2-1 favorite. And if you're Justin Gaethje, the game plan would to get Patty on his back foot. And if you remember most of Justin Gaethje's knockouts, the Vic knockout, who else was it? Was it Barboza? Some of those knockouts, it's always with a guy against the cage. They have nowhere to go, and he throws fucking bombs over Liverpool, and he's going to fucking clean your clock. All right, kids, let's take a little break here because it is time. It's time. There's only one UFC 324 this Saturday on Paramount and on DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sports book for live betting. Once it's over, your shot to get in on the action is gone. So let's do it. DraftKings Sportsbook is built for live betting, not just pre-fight picks, because in the UFC, one moment can flip the entire fight. One punch, one kick, one takedown. New to DraftKings? Cool. New customers can bet $5 buckaroos and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins with the code Schaub Show, SCHAUB Show. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code Schaub Show. That's code Schaub Show to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. UFC's back.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Patty just has to be smart. He keeps saying, again, it's just pre-fight interviews. He's like, I'm looking for a war. And that's what Justin Gaethje wants. He's down for that. I don't think Justin Gaethje's like a one-hitter quitter knockout like Deontay Wilder, Alex Pereira type of dude. He throws caution in the wind and just lets it fucking fly. And if he catches you, you're in trouble. But he's not like a guy where he's calculating wacko, where it's one shot. If you look at it, he's had a lot of decisions. He's landed some good shots too, but and Patty does have a chin from fucking the heavens. So I don't think it's where it's like, if Justin lands, this thing's over. I don't think so. Patty's a bigger dude too. And then for Sugar, Sean O'Malley, and then Song Yadong, Sugar definitely more battle tested. This is one where the UFC is going to need Sugar to win. This one's a little different than the Patty fight. Sugar is basically top 3 stars. If you were to lose this one, he's lost 2 of his last 3. If you lose 3 out of your last 4, there's not much we can do with you. He's only lost to Marab, who would beat everybody. But for Sugar, he needs to win this fight. Has to win this fight. I think he does too. I think he beats Song Yadong. Song Yadong, he's never been able to get over the hurdle. Again, still young. It's still up for debate. He still has a lot of work to do. But anytime he's fought upper echelon competition, he's lost. Corey Sandhagen, Peter Yan, that's upper echelon. Obviously, he beat Henry Cejudo, accidental eye poke or whatever that bullshit was. But, did he beat him? And also, it's a very, very older, not elite Henry Cejudo. So I wouldn't say he beat an elite Henry Cejudo. So anytime he's stepped up in competition, he loses. Sugar needs this win bad. The Costa Derek Lewis is interesting. That fight goes to decision. I'm going to slam my dick in a door. There's no way. There's no way, man. There's no way. Arnold Allen and Silva's fantastic fight. Quiet sleeper on this card. I can't believe Umar and Figueiredo's not on the main card. Krylov's a good one. It's a solid card. It's a solid card. Solid card. Hopefully it performs. I just hope there's more of a build-up as we get going here. They're also competing with the NFL, right? NFL's popping right now. My Broncos won, even though Bo Nix blew his fucking ankle out. We'll still beat the shit out of the Patriots. If you watch their game, like, oh, these guys suck. We've already beat them too before. The Rams did their damn thing in overtime. My ideal Super Bowl is Broncos Rams. So the UFC's competing with fucking big time NFL. Obviously tonight is the national championship in college, but that doesn't affect the UFC. But Saturday, Sunday, you get the big boy games. So maybe that's taking the majority, especially CBS. They're in that business. But I'd like a little uptick in coverage. Come on now. Come on now. You know? Are you excited for it, Chid?
For UFC, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first fight in a while, man. What, 3 weeks or something?
More than 3 weeks. What are you talking about?
I forgot.
Way longer
4
than
weeks?
3 weeks. Well, I mean, this is the longest break they've ever had.
Yeah, well, yeah, finally get to freaking watch fights again. That's what I love the
You have the
most.
enthusiasm of Dana White announcing a fight right now.
Man, I have some sort of crazy ass sinus shit,
You're sick again?
but it's not like a regular sick, just like my nose. I don't know. Have you ever had it?
Sinus infection?
Feels like it's like burning, but like with freezing, kind of sensation. Like it just sucks.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and I'm just like when I blow my nose, chunks of blood. It's awesome, dude.
Chunks of blood. Hey, man, that's not a sinus infection.
It is.
Are you sure?
Yeah. And then also now that it's healing, it's going to sound even grosser, but now that it's healing, it looks like the scab. So it looks like grilled onions when you like blow your nose.
Well, you've ruined my morning and all the listeners.
Sorry, bro.
Thank you, dude.
Sorry.
Maybe you get that.
You can tell by my voice, right? Something's going on. So
No, I just figure you're tired.
yeah.
Yeah, get that checked out, man. What else we got?
All right, let's go to current events.
UFC loses Apex naming rights in stunning 5-year deal that fight fans are calling the future of MMA. What?
No, that just means they're changing to main meta. So it's going to be UFC Meta Apex, like you talked about earlier.
UFC CEO Dana White today announced the Las Vegas-based facility will be rebranded under the Meta name.
Yeah.
This article is going hard in the paint. Part of White's ongoing relationship with Facebook founder and grappling wannabe, Mark
That's funny, yeah.
Zuckerberg.
It's a Yahoo article, too.
Meta is always the forefront of technology and immersive experience. Their enhancement changes. Fuck it. It does nothing for me.
Yeah, but they're going to change it to Meta. So now be excited for that. Anyway, so this is what Conor said recently about his contract. As you can see, there's no pay-per-view. So his contract was based on pay-per-view. So he wants a new contract.
Yeah, but a lot of guys' contracts are based off pay-per-view.
I guess for him, since he's a huge deal.
Everybody's who's a title holder or at that level. Go back.
Yep.
There's no more pay-per-view, whereas my contract is based on pay-per-view sales. The pay-per-view system is done. I'm doing a new contract, so we're going into negotiations in February. I'm very interested to see how it goes. Listen, there's going to be a bunch of media outlets out there saying, Conor's not fighting. He's not fighting Chandler. Jon Jones isn't on the White House. Alex Pierre's not on the White House. This is all a narrative that Dana White, he wants to control when the news gets out. He wants you to blow you away. You remember, I'm going to blow you away. I'm going to blow you. When the White House card is announced, he doesn't want it being like, yeah, we knew this. Mm-hmm. So I think what he's doing, he's negotiating in the public spotlight. with John, Alex, and Conor. So he's negotiating, but he's also doesn't want it to be obvious what's going to happen on the White House card. So when the news does break, everyone's like, oh, shit, greatest card ever. That's what's going on here. Guarantee you a lot of these guys are going to be on the card. My contract is essentially void right now because there's no pay-per-view. Where's my contract? Yeah, everyone's was. So they'll figure that out. And if one thing you should note too is if you are paying attention to the Paramount marketing of the UFC, Conor's almost on every marketing piece that they use. So you're batshit crazy if you don't think one of the amendments or one of the bullet points to get this $7 billion is Conor will fight on Paramount. Now, that being said, Conor also, I'm interested to see how bad Conor wants to fight because he's still a big name, but he hasn't won a fight since 2018, and there's been a lot of negativity around him. So how bad does Conor want to fight? Because if he thinks his market value is the same as it was in 2018, that's not real.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And now there's rumors that, Jorge Masvidal is kind of teasing that he might be the one that's fighting Conor, not Chandler. And then one of the things he says here, right here,
where did he say this on?
on MMA Junkie, the radio show.
Shout out to those guys. I love those guys. Some of it is like level 5 only access, so I can't really say too much, level 5 access. But I am training for something big. You never know, right? Give them what they want, not what they expect. I can say it's some big news. I have some fight news coming soon. It's very big news.
And he's very much tied to Trump. He was on his campaign trail as well, right? Him and I think Colby at one point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, hell yeah. Jorge Conor, that'd be cool.
Would you rather have that than Chandler? Even though they built up Chandler like for the longest time and nothing happened?
I like it all. I love Chandler. He'd be great to represent the United States on the White House card. Has there ever been a guy more fucked over than Chandler?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. You owe it to him. But then again, I love Jorge too. As long as the Conor fight happens, I'm into it. What I don't want is keep getting honey-dicked and teased. Conor's coming back,
Yeah.
But I think the UFC is doing a very good job of keeping all this under wraps.
Okay. So speaking of Conor, this is what Chael Sonnen thinks is going on with Conor, and this is on Mike Bowen's podcast.
Fight at the White House. Dana White saying, Michael Chandler, goodbye. You're no longer in the equation. If we do get a Conor McGregor fight, and it does happen at the White House, and Michael Chandler is not in play, who's the guy?
My larger interpretation was just that Conor was off the card. I know that's not what was said, but why would it not be Chandler? I mean, Chandler does make a lot of sense. If you're going to do the fans a favor by putting Conor on the card, or you're going to do Conor a favor, you got to write him this great big check. It's not going to be about fun. It's going to be about somebody that's going to come in, grab that can come back and do 2 or 3 more fights for the company. And that would disqualify
I disagree.
Nate or Masvidal, in my opinion. But my guess is first and foremost that Conor's not going to be part of this. That Conor's fully retired. Secondly, if he comes back and they write that check, they're going to give him a real guy.
Who should Conor McGregor fight at the White?
Now, love Chael, love Uncle Chael. Remember, he's part of the UFC machine. He knows what's going on. And he's also not going to leak. He's also playing the same game as Dana is, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully he does be on the card. Hopefully he will be on the card.
Let's take a little break here, man. Fellas, once you hit 30, you start getting a little sluggish. You start to get them titties to hang. You start to get a little fat around your waist. You're like, what am I doing, man? I'll tell you what you're doing. Your test levels are dropping. Yep. When you got lower testosterone, your energy shot, you start adding fat, losing muscle. You're like, what can I do, man? Because most men start losing testosterone around age 30. All right. And then slowly after that, goes down, goes down, goes down, goes down. Your body makes testosterone, but a lot of it gets locked up and can't be used. There's this protein called SHBG that's basically handcuffs your testosterone. It's keeping it all there. It's not letting you use it, man. So even if your body's making testosterone, SHB locks it up so you can't access it. It's like having money in the bank, but your debit card doesn't work, all right? Mars Men is designed to help you free lock testosterone so your body can actually use it. No synthetics, no needles, just real ingredients that help optimize energy, focus, and strength, all right? So if you want to get stronger, you want to lose body fat, you want your energy there, we got you, all right? Made in the USA, it's third-party tested, 8 natural, clinically dosed ingredients, all right? It's all good for you, supports healthy T levels, energy, and stamina. We got you. 90-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk. Worst case, if you don't love it, they give you your money back, but over 91% of users report higher energy levels. Thousands of bros are feeling incredible, all right? Just check out the reviews on their website to see for yourself. So for a limited time, you guys get 60% off for life and then 3 free gifts when you use the code Schaub at mengotomars.com. That's men, M-E-N, go to Mars.com, like the planet Mars, right? That's mengotomars.com. Use the code Schaub at checkout. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Let them know your boy sent you, all right? mengotomars.com. You're welcome. Let's take a little break here. This episode of the Schaub Show is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast. Smart choice. Where else can you get your MMA news? Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on research, can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates, not available in all situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. Progressive.
This is Jon Jones responding to Alex Pereira.
So, but what did Alex say?
Alex put out a post with a tire. It'll be in this little clip, but a tire with Jon Jones' name on it and the hammers that Alex. So,
God, I wish I
know you'd love to avenge the boys, but boy, would you be a good one to add to my list. Be careful what you wish for. Chamba.
Here's what's gonna be the shame is if I'm way off, a lot of the people are way off, and we don't get what be hilarious. Would be I think a huge letdown. Is say because he said they're gonna start negotiation on the White House card in February. So January, February, March, April, May. So you probably find out who's fighting in April, May, right? What happens if that White House card doesn't have Jon Jones, Alex, Conor, any of the people, Ilya? Then what? So they almost have to at this point. If none of those guys are on the card, Conor, Alex, Jon, because that's the only thing you do to blow us away. If it's just your standard shit, it's like, all right, dude, another fucking card. It just happens to be at the White House. That's cool. UFC knows this. You need to get some traction. You're gonna have to have some of these big boys that we're all hoping fight on the card. So I assume Dana's playing the game right now.
I hope so.
I would assume. Because I feel like actually main events, Amanda Nunes, Kayla Harrison, cool fight, and we'll watch it. I was asked if Jon Jones and Alex are fighting. I was told there might be a possibility of Conor Jorge or Conor fucking Chandler. I was told Ilya's going to fight on this. Ilya Patty?
Yeah.
Justin Gaethje, Ilya? Justin Gaethje could very well win. Justin Gaethje American versus Ilya on there, that'd be your main event. So the pressure's on the UFC to make this happen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of negotiation going on behind the scenes right now.
It's got to be at least when it comes to Jon and Conor, at least one of them has to be on the card, right? If they're both not on the card.
Anything else, a complete letdown.
Yeah.
Complete disappointment.
Alrighty. Anthony Joshua has now returned to the gym, so that's good news. Here he is, kind of just having a little.
I think this makes his fight. I mean, listen, it's all tragic, it's all sad. I think this, if he does decide to come back, which he doesn't need to, but it makes his fight with Fury even bigger. I wish him all the best.
And we discussed this already too, but Kamaru Usman once again has apologized for putting out that information. The recording of him talking to Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, what'd he say?
By the way, did you see Ariel Helwani go after Kamaru afterwards? He was saying like, dude, you freaking knew it, this and that, it's all for clout, that kind of stuff. He went like crazy on him.
Yeah, and Ariel's probably right.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing when he says this, Ariel pointed out like, you keep calling your Nigerian brother, whatever. He goes, dude, that's the first, on the phone was his first real interaction with him. That's what he was saying. Like he's never ever met him.
No.
That's what he was saying. I think Ariel knows way more than we do.
So then why the fuck would Anthony Joshua call?
Why would Kamaru Usman call him like a brother, my Nigerian brother?
But also, why is Anthony Joshua calling Kamaru Usman?
Well,
if
they
don't
both
know each other.
They both had a thing that was going. Well, Anthony was obviously in Nigeria for that thing that happened.
Okay.
And Kamaru was doing an event in Nigeria too. So maybe
they were supposed to maybe do something.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah. But here's the apology again.
It was a tough enough situation to where I had to make a public apology, which I've never done ever. Because I've never been in a situation where I had to do something like that. But it was necessary. It was necessary because the biggest thing as a man, I feel like you have to take responsibility when you've messed up, whether it was accidental or not accidental. You have to take that full responsibility. And I had to, and I did that. I was angry for a lot of different situations. One, I was angry that that was an oversight on my part by not watching my full video vlog that was out to understand that was in there. So I was angry because that's my fault. Because anything that goes out on my channel, I am ultimately responsible for. So I'm angry that I missed that. Second of all, I was angry because I had put, my brother, my Nigerian brother, AJ, in another situation. For people to be judging and saying certain things, oh, why does he seem this way? Why does he seem that way? I was angry hearing and seeing all of that. Most importantly, I was just angry at myself for even giving them a lane to even try to attack him in that way. So, man, I take full responsibility. Yeah. I can't apologize enough. I feel terrible. I'm still feeling terrible because it's, that's my character. It's something that I don't play with.
He should be angry at he should be angry at his team for doing that. But also, if, let's say, AJ and I were friends and we're doing Firing the Kid and he called me on there, I would know. I'd look at you and be like, hey, make sure you don't put that in the fucking episode, dude. Right?
Yeah. Because that's a huge thing. That's a big thing. And that was traumatic and it just happened.
Yeah. Listen, people make mistakes. Usman's a good dude, but that was a royal fuck up. All good. Live and learn. Move on. He's not a bad guy. I just think he might be a little newer to this world and was like, this will get views. And his team was like, man, this could be good. And they just miscalculated. You don't do that. That's it. All good.
Alrighty, let me see if this whole video is here. Yeah, it is. So this is a Zuffa boxing promo with Dana White. Have you seen this one yet? I wonder if we can play much of it, but I'll just go ahead and play a little bit of it.
It's lost its aura. It's been pushed to the margins. Why is that? Maybe because there's never been an architect, a visionary, who's been able to harness its power and present it the way it should be presented. Is there someone who can take up the mantle for the greatest sport in human history? There's only one way to find out.
Hold on. We can put together a fucking video package for that, but we can't for the announcement of Izzy Joe Pyfer. Okay. Has Dana put more weight on? Wasn't he in really good shape?
So that's what I was going to ask you about it as well, because it does look like it's kind of like he's back to where he used to be.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. But maybe you take your shirt off and you're shredded.
No, there's no way, but yeah. This is John Anik talking about a change in how many fight cards there are per, or how many fights are on per
He
card.
said if you could change one thing. So if I could affect change in one way, perhaps it's selfish because I'm a broadcaster that doesn't understand how we do back-to-back Super Bowls every time we crack a mic. I'd do 10 fight card and just make it much more ingestible, palatable sporting event. Out of all the changes?
I mean, it's got to be tough on him to memorize all the details of all these different fights.
Yeah, Crimea River. That's what you get paid for. I don't give a fuck about that. I love John, but yeah, that's your job. But I think more so it's like, but when you say ingestible and more better for people to understand, remember too, though, I guess for him, because he's at the arena so long, the early prelims, most people aren't watching.
Yeah.
And also it gives younger fighters a chance to make a name for themselves. So it creates more fights. So I don't know if I get rid of that, If anything, I would do less cards. Keep it 15 fights, but do less cards so the quality's better. I think the issue with the UFC is it's so watered down. And there's so many fight nights, and you have kids. They're signing so many kids off Dana White Contender Series, which is the best show in MMA. But I think they've gone away from what made them this powerhouse where the cards were so good, man, especially the pay-per-views. Now, there's no pay-per-view, but the numbered cards were so fucking good. Even fight nights were good because there weren't as many. I would go back to not as many watered-down fight nights and stack the ones that we do. That's how I would change it. Not number of fights, because you need the young guys to get opportunity, and eventually they get to main events and stuff like that.
I mean, so that is kind of similar than just less cards, but more top heavy cards too, because the younger fighters, no one's gonna even know them anyways, right? So
most people aren't watching those.
So just have it stacked with like a lot of famous people, and then
give me better quality cards, matchups, less fights per month, and better cards.
Yeah, that's how they used to do it too. So
that's what got them to the dance, but then with money and obligations and mainstream TV, they need content nonstop.
Okay.
Let's take a little break here because this episode of the Schaub Show is brought to you by my friends at RO. That's RO. Dude, I'm talking about prescription treatment for guys who want harder and more controlled erections. Yep, I'm talking about that wiener, boys. Yes, sir. Row Sparks works faster than other treatments because they dissolve under the tongue and go directly into the bloodstream, so you're ready to go when it's time to go. All right? It hits the bloodstream faster than the old school pills. Why does that matter? Because now, when the mood is right, you'll be ready. No more waiting for the pills to kick in. Like, man, it's been 30 minutes. What am I doing here? Forget all that noise. We got you. All right? We got you. Perform with less wait time with Row Sparks. Guys can get harder and have more control in bed, more satisfaction for their partners. All right, we got you, man. Row connects guys with medical providers 100% online, so you don't have to waste time in the waiting rooms. If approved, treatment ships directly to your frickin' door. We got you, man. All right. So if prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off your first order of Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with a provider at ro.co/Schaub to find out if the prescription Row Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/Schaub for $15 off your first order. Good luck, gentlemen.
Well, there's a rumor that Trevor Whitman is saying that Justin Gaethje, if they don't get the title, if they don't win, they'll just stop fighting. Like no money fights, no, like,
Yeah, if he were to
super
lose, I
fights.
agree, because then you're just hanging around for, and he's had some fucking wars. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to sound super harsh, but the UFC is, let's say my kid was going to be UFC. Let's say Tiger was going to fight in the UFC. the only thing that makes it worth it is if you become a world champion. So UFC is great. It's crazy. If you're like a top 5 guy and you're constantly in the run, like you're one fight away from fighting for that championship, and then you get there, that's where you're really making life-changing money. If the day comes where, if you've had 2 fights in the UFC or 10 fights in the UFC and you realize you're never going to be that guy, there couldn't be a worse job as an occupation. You're not making a lot of money. It's very tough. You're going to get damage, brain damage, injuries. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. The juice is worth the squeeze if you can get to an elite level. So once you realize that, I'm not top 5, I'm not championship material, it's time to move on. It's a game of elite. That's where you make life-changing money if you're an elite. So it could be, if you're a young kid, you're 21, 22, and you get to the UFC and you're 1-2, and then you rip off 2 and you lose 1, you're going back and forth. You still have a lot of growth. It doesn't mean, even if you lose 2 in a row, it doesn't mean that you're never going to be champ, because you're still young, you have a lot to learn. But as you get going, you've had 8, 9, 10 fights in the UFC, and you're like, I'm just not there. Get out.
So
it's a game for the elite.
He could make money like Cowboy, right? Because he's always so exciting, but you're saying it's just not worth the squeeze at some point. I mean, honestly, when you say Gaethje, I think about his health.
You should.
Big time.
You should.
So for him in particular, I'd be like, yeah,
you should
probably get out. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's made a ton of money, Now, granted, he's definitely underpaid, but I'm saying it's for a fighter, he's made a lot of money, and he's pretty smart with his stuff too. So I assume he's good on that end, So yeah, if you don't win this one, it's time to get out. Instead of waiting around and taking damage,
Yeah.
But the UFC, what people don't realize, it's a game for the elite. That's where you're making tons of money. It's not a game for the middleman. The middleman, you're making some money, but you're not making enough to save. You're making enough to get by and pay for camp. Maybe rent a place. You're not making enough money to fucking buy houses and real estate and cars. It's tough, man.
Okay. This one was just a silly video that ESPN posted as well. This is Sean O'Malley reacting to being the co-main event once Kayla Harrison got, had that back injury thing or neck injury thing.
Kayla Harrison's out. Co-main. You.
Is it? I'm the co-main. UFC 324. I'm the co-main.
You see the news?
Silly.
Do you remember him? Like he was like, I'm dropping off so far now. This night, I'm not even co-main. I'm in like this, and now finally it's co-main. So,
but also a guy that used to be in main events all the time. He
was
he's also
superstar.
Like, no shit, man. It's also like, no shit.
Yeah. You already brought this up, Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer, but I don't know if you've actually broken down.
No,
what
dangerous fight for Izzy.
Okay.
Dangerous fight for Izzy. I absolutely adore Izzy. One of the best to ever do it. One of my favorite fighters of all time. His fight with Kelvin Gastelum, top 3 fights of all time if you haven't seen it. Super, super dangerous fight. If you look at the rankings, it doesn't make a ton of sense. But if you look at the direction of the UFC, one of the biggest problems the UFC has is they don't have any stars in North America. They have stars internationally. All the powerhouses are international. The UFC, the Paramount deal, we need American stars. We just do. It's a real issue. We don't have really many on the horizon. We don't know what the fuck we're going to do. The Dagestanis, the Russians, the Chechens, the Armenians, they're taking over the sport. So the UFC has to find somebody, a group of guys, to carry the United States market. Joe Pyfer could be the guy, could be one of the guys. I would assume if you're looking at rankings, it doesn't make a ton of sense, but Joe Pyfer is an exciting fighter, hits like a Mack truck. Needs to do a little better not headhunting, right? But he He's one of the guys that could do it, and a win over Izzy would definitely make him a star. So I assume that's kind of the reason behind this.
Yeah, Joe's all the way down to 15.
Doesn't make a lot of sense. Doesn't make a ton of sense. But the UFC needs stars. Sugar getting pushed in the co-main event, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Come on, America. Step your fucking game up. You guys want to cry that these Daggies are taking over? Beat them up. Beat them the fuck up. And also, the UFC doesn't give the Dagestanians or the Chechens a very easy run. Look at fucking poor Umar Nurmagomedov. It's fucking Marab. Like, they had to go through some shit to get to the top, dude. Islam had to walk through some shit, so he doesn't make it easy on him. And Clive, he doesn't make it easy on him, but they just fucking win. Come on, America. Get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Alrighty.
What are the odds on that, Pi? Is there odds on Pi for Izzy?
Yeah, so Izzy is not favored. Piper's actually favored for that. This one I thought was kind of funny. Not funny, but interesting. So Jon Jones, whenever he writes when he autographs trading cards, he always puts the goat.
Love it. Love it. I want that card.
Oh, this one would be insane.
That one's sick.
Yeah. And we saw this pop up. I thought that was rad. I actually put down it's sick. This is Matt Damon talking about you, pretty much.
Thing on my Instagram feed of a fighter, and I don't know who it was, but he was a heavyweight, and
you saw it, though.
He goes, I had the chance to spar with Jon Jones, to work with Jon Jones, and he goes, I knew about it months ahead of time. He goes, I got my nutrition, everything was absolutely flawless. I got my sleep, everything was on. He goes, I show up at the gym that morning. He goes, to me and 5 other guys. He goes, he comes in. I think he went to sleep at 4 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
He was out all night, and he goes, he ran through all 6
That's my
of us.
buddy Brendan Schaub.
Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It was the funniest story. I was like, and he goes, and then I just knew,
there's levels.
That's a level. Like, but imagine being that elite and realizing there's another level.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Brendan was a top 10 heavyweight, and John wasn't even a heavyweight. John was a light heavyweight. It was a lower weight class, and he just beat everybody's ass. And he said, this is his warm-up. He just get in there and just fuck everybody up.
I saw a thing.
Yeah, it was cool. I love me some Matt Damon, Ben Affleck.
Dude, both of
I
us
wish you
together.
remember my name, but at least he saw my content. You know what I'm saying?
And by the way, your caption,
you like that?
That was fucking dope.
Thanks,
Yeah.
sir. How you like them apples? I know those are two of my favorite. Their new movie on Netflix.
The Rip.
What would you say?
The Rip.
The Rip. When it first starts, I was like the first 10, 15 minutes, I'm kind of like, oh man, this is a little rough, dude. Me, my wife, and my father-in-law, mother-in-law always watch shows together. And I'm like, man, it's a little corny, right? It's typical. It reminded me of start of Fast and Furious back in the day, where it's machismo and all you boys ready, let's get the money and fuck you. And I'm like, God, this is kind of corny. And then once it gets into it, it's good, dude. It's a fun watch. It's not as good as The Town. It's not as well done as The Town, but it's interesting. It's worth a watch. It's fun. I love me some Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, the two of my favorites. Thank God Joe's like, that's my buddy Brendan Schaub. He's like, I forget the guy's name. That story came from, I've said it multiple times. I'm sure I've said it on The Companion and stuff like that. But where it went viral was when I was on Jackson's podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, with Bear and Rampage. That's where it went super viral.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that guy, I don't know if you remember, but Joe Carnahan, that's Brian's boy. He's been on T5K.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we're talking about him for our kid. Yeah, that's Joe Carnahan. He's a beast. But yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that was
cool. A bunch of people were hitting me up about it. God, it's about to be my the one where I flipped my trucks, the biggest views I've ever posted. I think that did 24 million views.
Jeez.
But that one in a day is at 1.7 million.
Wow.
Which is wild.
Hell
Yeah. Will she remember my name? But at least he did see my content.
And he described it to a T, too. That was really good.
You remembered it. Thank God Joe gave me a shout out.
But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, because we get the fighter and the kid, because your boy got to get to the football tournament, baby. Finally, the long layoff. The UFC is here. We've all been jonesing for it. It's a fun card. I'm hoping for more content, hoping for more build-up leading into this big Paramount CBS deal. I'm sure we will get it. You got Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett. Fantastic fight. Could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised if Justin Gaethje knocked his head to Liverpool with an uppercut. I wouldn't be surprised if Paddy Pimblett finishes him at under 3, chokes him out. That fight can go either way. That's why it's a great fight. That's a fantastic fucking fight because it could go either way. Sugar Sean, fucking do talk about pressure. Needs to get it done against Sung Yadong. I think he gets it done. Acosta, Derek Lewis, that fight goes decision. I'm slamming my dick in the door and putting it on YouTube. Silva, Rose, cool. Arnold Allen, Silva, that's definitely the black sheep of this card. That's a sleeper fight. Fantastic fight. Umar Nurmagomedov, Figgy, fantastic fight. Krylov, Modistas, fantastic fight. Yeah, it's a good card. It'll get us, it will fix the jonesing that I've been waiting for. So enjoy this on Paramount. No more pay-per-view. I can't wait to watch it. Yeah, that's it, man. All right, love you guys. If you haven't seen it, go watch. Was it The Fix?
The Rip.
The Rip, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, my buddies now. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Yeah, I wish. All right, guys, that's it. Love you. See me around town. Come say what's up. Enjoy the fights. I'm out.